Welcome back, everybody. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into the dream golf trip group that we would like to be a part of. So the way that we've done it is if you're watching on video, there's going to be a graphic to kind of make it easier for you. But for those listening, we'll kind of break down the groups, but essentially found what I think eight or so different groups of just random pros, random golf influencers, whether it's kind of social media, YouTube, commentators, things of that nature, and then pro athletes that play golf but aren't full-time golfers, or at least weren't known originally for being full-time golfer. So we have it broken up into a bunch of different groups. There was no bias going into this. I literally threw all these names into a random name generator, and just made sure that everybody was paired. Like I said, pro, a tour pro, or, I guess a golfer pro, and then a pro athlete that plays golf, and then somebody involved in the game of golf. So let's go ahead and kind of go through the list a little bit for our audio listeners specifically.
So real quick, Owen, I think what would be fun is after we get to the point where we're picking our group, you pick your group and then you pick who is your cart partner.
Okay. So we'll pick not only will we pick our group and, go wild with where this golf trip is, whether it's, we're going to St. Andrews, or whether you're just staying, local in the US or wherever you're local. Go wild with that. But the big component of this is who are you going with and who are you going to ride in the cart with. So group one, we have Tiger Woods. If you don't know Tiger Woods, why are you listening to this podcast? Charles Barkley. There's some controversy with Charles going on right now, potentially with Live Golf, but this list was made before that. And hey, if you like Live Golf, then maybe Charles is one of your options. So 8 groups to choose from. Caleb, who do you have your eyes on initially?
So I am eyeing, we'll call it 3 groups, because, pardon my ignorance, I guess, but I'm not aware of the good guys. So I'm sure they do great work. I just don't know anything about them. So they're not on my list.
Okay.
I think if I actually played golf with Tom Brady, most of my family might disown me being a Colts fan, being a Colts family. I think we're starting to get over that now that he doesn't really care about the Patriots anymore, which is nice.
Yep.
At least it makes it seem like that. Hopefully he doesn't care about them anymore, but we'll see. Sorry, Evan Teed. He's a Boston guy, so he's a Patriots guy.
No. Okay.
Dustin Johnson, Tony Romo, Kyle Porter. I would be most excited about Kyle Porter in that group. Yeah. Putting out some good investigative tweets for us. I have no want or desire to play with Tony Romo. Not a Tony Romo guy. But yeah, I'm gonna eye obviously the Tiger group. That would be incredible. Ricky Fowler, Peyton Manning, Shane Bacon group, and then the Spieth, McAfee, and Nance group. Those are my top 3.
Okay. I don't disagree with any of those, but let me just make a point for each group real quick. Tiger Woods group, you get to play with Tiger Woods. I could care less who the other 2 people. The GOAT. Yeah, there's not a lot. I mean, I like Rick Shields and Charles Barkley would probably be a good time, but Tiger's clearly the main attraction in that one. Ricky Fowler and Peyton and Shane Bacon. Ricky just seems like a good time. Peyton Manning is one of my sports heroes growing up in Indianapolis, and I like what Shane Bacon does. Dustin Johnson. Let me make a point for Dustin Johnson's group, regardless of kind of how we feel about the live stuff. This guy just got like $200 million. Like, I don't think I have to pay for not that everybody else isn't rich on this list, at least from the pro athlete side, but like we'd be flying like in that plane that Pat Perez was dancing in, and like he would just be balling out at all times. We'd be playing the nicest courses. He doesn't have to worry about a single thing because he has multi millions of dollars. So that's my point for Dustin Johnson. I used to be a Dustin Johnson fan. Clearly that's wavered a little bit.
Yeah,
JT,
but would he be like, like we're at the golf course? Oh, like
true.
we're going to the golf course?
He
Okay.
would be probably out of all the pros that we had listed off, he'd be the least engaged in this group. He would,
Oh yeah.
he would definitely blow it off. But
It's
if
just another
he's
round of golf for DJ.
just another round of golf, we would probably, the thing that you lose with this group specifically is that you only get to play 3 days instead of 4, which is unfortunate because golf trip, like you want to play 4 days. So that's the only thing with DJ's group. Tony Romo, he would just be like predicting, like, you're gonna shank, you're gonna 3-putt this, like how he always predicts in the booth. So that might get a little annoying, and you play less golf there. Justin Thomas, Pat Mahomes, Garrett Clark, all respect, all young guys, would probably be a great time. I love Justin Thomas, but I think I'm just gonna say no to that group. Rory, Tom Brady, Dan Rappaport. There's 2 main attractions in that one. Rory, clearly. And Dan. Yeah, Rory and Dan are the 2 attractions to that one. And I get to play with the greatest football player of all time, regardless of how I truly feel as a Colts fan. Zalatoris, Steph Curry, Micah Morris. I think for the younger crowd that's attractive, I like Zalatoris and Micah Morris, but I don't know. Just it doesn't really have my pick. Scotty Scheffler, Mark McGuire, Peter Finch might be the sleepiest group on this list. Like, no, all respect to all of them. They all play really good golf, but like from my own perspective, I can't really make a case other than playing with Scotty and maybe being go play Augusta because he's a member there now. And then clearly Spieth, McAfee, and Nance. Like, I'd be wearing all my Jim Nance Vineyard Vines gear. I'd be, while Pat McAfee's out there with a
tank top
or tank top and wearing jean shorts, and Jordan Spieth just, he seems like a good time. So I can make a case for, I would say, 6 out of the 8 groups. But again, you lose some golf with playing with Dustin Johnson. So what are you've outlined your top 3. Who are you picking from this group?
Man, that's tough. I feel like you might be surprised by my answer.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the Tiger group. I think I'm gonna pass up on Pat, unfortunately, just because it's Tiger Woods. I mean, Charles is Charles. He's a nut. For better for worse, what he's doing with the live. He's funny. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
And then Rick Shields, I've seen some of his stuff. He would be the kind that would like pull out the grooveless wedge and hit shots like that into the green. So
true.
There would definitely be some creativity within the group. So I think that's why it would be the most fun. And then obviously it's a no-brainer who my partner is going to be. I'm going to go with Tiger. But
okay.
The Spieth, McAfee, and Nance group, that would be a good time. And maybe not so much the golf, the good time, but the atmosphere, the group, the party of it, So that was a very tough second place. But I'm going to go with Tiger Woods, Chuck, and Rick, and I'm going to have Tiger as my partner.
So first off, great choice. I'm not going to draft them because you drafted them, and that's your group. Tiger's your partner, so I'm going to stay away from that as much as I would want to play with Tiger. And I've talked about it before. I would rather go shoot 150 with Tiger than shoot a 68 with my closest friends. But realistically right now, I'm between Rory, Tom Brady, and Dan Rappaport, and then Spieth, McAfee, and Nance. Like, I think the most well-rounded group out of that is McAfee, Spieth, and Nance, because you have the party with Pat. So after the round's over, or even during the round, you're going to have fun. He's going to make you laugh. It doesn't matter how you play golf because you're playing with Jordan Spieth. We know that probably out of every pro athlete or former pro athlete that isn't a golfer, he's probably the worst. out of them. So like, you know that you can be relatable with him on the course. Like, he's not going to go out there, even though we think he's going to make it on the Champions Tour. He's not going to go out there right now and, you know, shoot super low. Spieth, I like Spieth. I'm not like a huge fan of Spieth, but I think like based on interviews that he's done with like the Barstool guys and some different, you know, some different people in the media, like he just seems like he has a sense of humor as well. So, you know, he'd be cracking up at Pat McAfee. And then I just have a dream. There's been a video that's circulated around before, but like Jim Nance commentating one of your shots. Like,
that would be very cool.
I would figure out how to like buy a TV, have that on repeat in my office at all times. I don't care if it was, and then like just constantly repeating, showing kind of my round. Maybe Pat's cracking a couple of jokes like on there as well. And then you get to see Spieth like just destroy us. But I would just have that on repeat at all times. So I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going with Spieth, McAfee, and Jim Nance. And very good pick. The Kartner though, I got that would Pat.
Oh, absolutely. Again, that one's going to be hard because, like, you know, if you're riding with Jim, you could get the, you know, and here's the approach shot.
Right.
And, you know, and then with Jordan, you know, he can have a good time because of the spring break trips with Ricky and Smiley and JT. So, you know that he can have a good time. And then Pat is just Pat. He's awesome. So, I think that also helped my my pick because, you know, it's Tiger's an easy pick. And it, you know, I ditched on playing with Tiger earlier in the year, so I'm not going to make that mistake twice. I'm going to go play Tiger. But and you know, we know that Tiger can have a good time. He messes around with JT all the time.
Right.
So that kind of thing. So that's a very good pick for you. I like that.
Really, I like it. I don't have a specific location. I would be perfectly happy if Nance and Spieth flew into Indianapolis and played with me. Like, we just hang out at Pat's studio during the day. Like, maybe we get on the show a little bit. And then we just go play whatever course afterwards. Like, just make it I could be a stay home trip. But I just think out of all those groups, most well-rounded, and clearly just Tiger being the needle of golf, like, is just the outlier, and you have to pick that group if you're Caleb. But out of everybody else, all respect to everybody else, but I got to go with that one. So